Hello chess lovers, Student here, and in this video I want to share with you a brilliant attacking game played by the 8th world chess champion Mikhail Tal. In this game Tal's opponent is Argentine chess grandmaster Miguel Najdorf. The game was played in 1960 at Leipzig Chess Olympiad. But before proceeding with the game, let me first introduce you a conversation which happened between Tal and Najdorf before the game. Under the Olympiad system then in use, teams were seeded into preliminary sections and advanced to different finals sections. Tal drew with Najdorf in 12 moves in the preliminaries. Before they met in the finals, Najdorf spotted Tal and Koblents having lunch at the hotel. Najdorf walked by and told Tal, "I will accept all of your sacrifices. Remember, I successfully fought with world champions Capablanca and Alekhine." Tal replied that he was honor-bound to make sacrifices, adding, "I hope you keep your promise." And now without further ado, let's proceed with the game and see whether Najdorf kept his promise or not. In this game Tal had white pieces and he opened up with e4, to which Najdorf answered with Sicilian defense. Knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3, e6. Scheveningen variation is on the board. Bishop e3, a6, f4, b5, queen f3 already. e5 can be a nice threat, that's why black played bishop b7, putting pressure on e4, neutralizing the threat, and bishop d3 by Tal. Knight bd7, after which Tal castled kingside. Well, I have to tell you that at this point the line starting with g4 is considered to be a more ambitious and aggressive try. If b4, then knight e2, if knight c5, then knight g3, and then white is usually castling queenside. But in this game Tal decided to castle kingside, and soon we will see that this also will lead to a very sharp sacrificial game. Bishop e7, a3, stopping b4, black castled kingside, queen h3, queen c7, rook e1. Tal is not hurrying, is first centralizing his pieces, is putting them on aggressive attacking squares. Knight c5, bishop f2, and d5. In many cases in Sicilian defense this d5 is very useful, which is allowing black to free his position, but in this case this is a mistake. Well, first playing a move like rook a d8, and then if knight b3, e5 is better. But instead, to bishop f2, Najdorf answered with d5, and now let's see what's the problem with it. Here Tal played e takes d5, opening up the e file and also this light squared bishop's diagonal. Here black played knight takes d3, but let's take a look at other possible continuations as well. First let me remove the arrows and see what if, for example, bishop takes d5. Then after knight takes d5, e takes d5, white can go for an exchange sacrifice, and then this white knight is jumping into the game with the tempo, and then white can play bishop d4. If knight takes d3, then bishop takes f6, and black is finding himself in trouble. And then knight takes g7, and white has a devastating attack. Or after e takes d5, if a move like e takes d5, then in this case white can go for a straight kill with an exchange sacrifice. Like in the previous line, white is sacrificing the rook and then is attacking this defensive piece. If knight takes d3, then bishop takes f6. The bishop is untouchable, there is always a mating threat. This knight is hanging. If knight takes f4, then rook takes f4. This is a very beautiful line, by the way. And then knight e2, kicking away black queen, and then playing queen g4. Yeah, black king is in trouble. If queen b6 check, then bishop d4, white is winning. Let's go back and let's proceed with the game. So to e takes d5, Najdorf answered with knight takes d3 and c takes d3 by Tal. Bishop takes d5, knight takes d5, e takes d5, knight f5. In this case there is no need for an exchange sacrifice. White is just putting his knight on an attacking square with the tempo, and then after bishop c5, Tal is playing d4, bishop a7, and this time we see bishop h4. Tal is finding another nice square from where the bishop can target black knight. Knight e4. And there we have it. We have reached a critical position where you can pause the video and try to find Tal's next moves. Ready? Well, Tal started the combination with an exchange sacrifice, which I'm sure that in a blink of a second you saw. And once Tal is removing the defender, he's making another brilliant move, which is a bit difficult to find, but if you concentrate deeper you can find it for sure. That move is bishop f6, a very impressive move. And at this point, here is what Najdorf said: "I'm sorry, but I can't keep my promise. If I take this piece, I will get checkmated." With this move, Tal is simply targeting the pawn on g7, and as Najdorf said, if he accepts the piece sacrifice, he will get checkmated. That's why to bishop f6 he answered with queen b6, and there comes bishop takes g7, rook e8. In some cases black is freeing the f8 square for the king, but there is no way out. Queen g6, knight h6 check, king f8, and after f5 Najdorf resigned. It's difficult to find a safe square for the queen. If queen g5, then this time white can land another heavy punch and can go for a knight sacrifice, and this is going to be a quick victory. And then here, and then f6. If bishop takes d4, then king h1. Pins are all over the board, you know. If you play bishop f6, then you are stepping into another pin, and this is how white can win in this line. Or if queen c6, then in this case white can choose between king h1 or queen h5. The idea of king h1 is to stop rook e5. Yeah, at this point, if you go for knight takes f7, then black has rook takes e5 move. The queen is not under attack, and seems like that black is managing to repel white's attack. That's why to queen c6 white can calmly answer with king h1 and only then proceed with the attack. What is black going to play? I don't know, knight takes f7, queen h5, in some cases f6, all these moves are hanging in the air. These are really very nasty threats, that's why understanding that his position is hopeless. At this point, after f5, Najdorf resigned. Well, that was a quick victorious game by the magician from Riga, which I hope that you enjoyed greatly. In the end, a chess puzzle for you, a very beautiful one where the task is to find the mating line for black. It's black to move, and as usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.